Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Noxus map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. We'll start with Team 1 on the northwestern side of the map, and then we'll end with Team 2 on the southeastern side of the map, also known as the blue team versus the red team. Starting off with Team 1 southwestern player, we have in Amethyst Purple, it is Drimmer. He's playing as a UEF as a 2097 rated. He is the highest rated player on Team 1. To his northeast, we have in Royal Blue, it is Excited. He is doubly excited. He's playing as a Cybern for this match as a 1728 rated. And last but not least, for Team 1, we have in Stitch Blue, it is Hannibal playing as a Seraphim. He is a 1568 rated. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have a UEF, they have a Cybern, and a Seraphim, and no Aeon Tech for Team 1. Moving on to Team 2's Eastern player. First, we have in Orange, Color Orange, blending in with his environment. It is Control K. We'll see if he causes somebody to Control K or if he Control Ks himself. He is a 2105 rated. He is the highest rated player on Team 2 and in the game. Overall, again, he is a Cybern. Moving on southwestwardly, we have in Chevy Crimson, it is Baller playing as a Cybern as well. He is a 1672 rated. And last but not least for Team 2, in Blood Angel Red is the one and only Aeon of the game. It is Velarone playing as a 1570 rated. So for Team 2 side of the map, they have two Cyberns in the east and then an Aeon in the middle. That means they have two Cyberns, one Aeon. No UEF and no Seraphim Tech for Team 2. No Aeon Tech for Team 1, but every faction is represented in the game, so don't you worry. Everybody is getting in on the action. And for these 6 players on the map, let's take a look at their reclaim before they scoop it all up. Currently sitting at 15,000 mass and reclaim, which per player is 2.5k mass per player. I guess it per player twice there. And there is definitely some hot spots of reclaim. There's a nice little clumpage there. A heavy amount of clumpages here. And then we see a nice little clumpage over here as well. So easy reclaim to grab for each teams. And also more fighting over reclaim in the middle of the map, which we do like to see some of that fighting over stuff. We do see everybody in the game, not just on Team 1 or Team 2. Everybody is headed to the middle of the map. Some players are there sooner than others, but they are getting there. That is the important thing. It looks like Team 1 has already scooped up almost all of that reclaim there. Then moving on Team 2 side of the map. Reclaim. A couple of units get in around the side here from Team 1's Drimmer, going after these nice little engineers, going on, of course, an engineer expedition for reclaim. Actually, for mexes, apologies. And in terms of mexes on the map, realistically, it's just Team 2 and Team 1 sides of the map. That's it. There's a little bit over here, That's it. And yeah, there's some technically closer to the middle of the map, but I mean, realistically, that's Team 2 sides, that's Team 1 side. I don't see any sort of taking mexes, at least maybe in a longer stint of the game, maybe a short-term kind of annoyance, but nothing longer term. So there are mexes to be had very safely in the background. A couple of Trimex positions here, and a quad mex here, and another one there. But we do see first come action between Excited of Team 1 and Velarone of Team 2. They are excited about the engagements they're having with one another. Drimmer's inbound to assist. We have Control K. It looks like he pushed northward to go after Hannibal, and now he's falling back to intercept this group of 2 players from Team 1. Baller's being hit now. They're focusing him, not Velarone. They've dropped him about 6,500 hit points. Excited is dropping pretty quickly. Definitely not excited about that. And how many Excited jokes can I just spout out within 5 minutes time? Excited is dropping below 800 hit points. Not looking good for him. We have Control K coming in to assist. Looks like he's actually gone in behind Baller. You would think he'd go this way. Velarone is dropping. There goes Team 1's Team 1's Excited to Team 2's Velarone. Velarone drops below 1,500 hit points. Drimmer's not looking too hot as well. Velarone's not looking too good as well. Drops below 1,000. Does get some veterancy, though. Pretty much the only reason why he's still alive at this point. Baller does intercept a couple of those shots for Velarone. 500, 400. Drimmer's dropping below 20, not 2,500. Yeah, he's closing in on it. And Drimmer is right at that marker there. We do see Control K's back here. And we do see Drimmer's falling below 2,500. If Baller were to die, Drimmer might be out of range for Velaron, but if Drimmer died, Baller wouldn't look too hot, and then it may just cascade onto Velaron. So it looks like everybody besides Excited gets out of that mess, and it is a win for Team 2. I will note, though, that early in this game, with essentially 1 point of action, at least 1 point of entry and exit for land, one player being down isn't the end of the world, especially if that goes to the highest rated player, at least on Team 1. He's going to get a little bit more eco to play with. He might be able to expedite things for Team 1 sooner. But we'll see if the APM either hurts or helps Team 2 and Team 1 respectively. I think I said that correctly or not. Anyways, a couple of units moving in on the eastern side of the middle of the map. Those are going to get intercepted quite nicely by Team 2. And honestly, just post up comms kind of like this for Team 2 and Team 1, maybe a little bit, further towards the middle kind of thing. But you could honestly cover every avenue. The only thing you'd really be worried about is any sort of air raids from the sides of the map or transports sending units across the map that way, because there is no way around. Those mountains are too high and the edge of the map is too thick with mountains up there. I mean, the easiest drop point would be, set up troops here and just doot or doot and then just send units that way. We do see those units from Team 1 do try to get in around the mountain, but more inbound, and that's not really going to go anywhere. Gun started for Team 1's Hannibalo in the middle of the map. Nice central location to try to grab at least most of that section of the map. We do see he's not going to get that much more with that range upgrade percentage-wise, but again, it is something, which is always better than nothing. Couple of spy planes having some fun. We do see Velaron still being hit by bombers. The engineer almost dies from the crash damage, but he's fine. He's going back to base. Again, still 1-star vet, barely over that number. He's probably going to be happy with just the extra, 1,000+ hit points and call it a day. And regen ore started for Hannibal to try to keep his units online longer. That is, of course, the more mass-efficient way to keep HP higher collectively. Individually, not as good for the comm, but when you have a dozen or so units having an extra, 3, 4, 5 hit points a second per unit, that adds up real quick. So we do see he has some Ilshis online, which Ilshis are almost the bane, I think, of at least somebody's existence. Mine sometimes, and other people's, I would assume, as well. We do see a couple of mexes are down in the northwestern corner here for Team 1. We do see a Mantis. I think that was a 4-star vetted Mantis gets eventually destroyed. But, hey, that hero Mantis killing off 3 mexes. That's worth the whatever mass cost it is for 1 Mantis and 1 transport, I would imagine. Regen ore is done. And you can see that Ilshi now sitting at 15 hit points a second and a smidgen boost in hit points. Yeah, that's definitely worth the price of that regen ore. We might see a kill on the Team 2 side of the map maybe for Team 1. Baller not looking great, not terrible though. He's at almost 1-star vet, almost back up into the green. Nothing too crazy. No upgrades for Control K, no upgrades for Velaron. He's just regenning in the back. I don't expect him to be really in the fight. Some point maybe he will be, but I mean, especially for the next 5 minutes, he's definitely going to be back there. Transport inbound from Team 1, dropping off a couple of units. Looks like they drop right on that Trimax position again. Units already here from Team 2 to intercept. And, yep, they dealt with that immediately. There are, there's a small little path where the units can crawl through, but I don't really expect it to be a more focused avenue of attack for Team 1 going southward, just because it kind of is not really that great for big armies. A couple of units, nothing crazy, but, conga lining it, probably not the best idea to do long term. We do see gun started for Baller. He's rooted to the spot right now, assisted by Velaron. He will get it up decently quick, but we do see the comm is back here with a nano upgrade started. So these Ilshis are pushing in, trying to make as much headway as possible. Upgrades at 60% in climbing. Does Team 1 notice? They do not notice, so he's going to be safe there for now. Looks like they're going to try to do as much damage as possible. They're going to run into some blazes from Team 2. And they're going to slow down a little bit, at least try to be slowed down by Team 2. A couple of Ilshis will be forced back to regroup. And that gun upgrade is now done for Baller. Is he going to push into assists? Yes, once his pathfinding fixed itself out. And looks like the upgrade, that's slow, but it is progressing. Bombers over here from Team 2 going after some Mantis from Team 1. Team 1 PD now online. Looks like one mix was eliminated. One mix, not really worse to lose. It's definitely a lot worse situations have happened. But it is a T2 mix, so it is, it is a little bit more worth it than just that one T1 mix kind of thing. Here comes Baller to intercept from the side here. We have units moving in from this western side as well, trying to, again, kind of pincer maneuver that trimix position. That's constantly being hit by Team 1. Speed started for Velaron. Range is done. Baller trying to catch up, but just cannot seem to move those legs fast enough. More units being thrown at this western engagement as fast as possible. Now we see kind of the pathfinding issues here for Drimmer's forces. They're kind of booping into one another. Nothing really clean cut. One unit goes first and the next one kind of thing. And now those Ilshis and those other units are kind of just stuck there. Baller is here. He's almost on 2-star vet. They're kind of just feeding the comm some veterancy, which is not great, but eventually it won't even matter because T3 units, especially Percy's from Team 1, Percy's go burr, and then comms go explode. So it is concerning, but isn't a terrible thing. Velaron has speed and range online. Those, of course, are separate upgrades for the Aeon side of things. And those Ilshis are still running amok. Those are probably one of the best T2 unit. I think it is the best T2 unit in the game, to be honest with you. And those Randos are coming in to assist as well. Overcharging, killing off a couple more units. Velaron's going to get some veterancy again. He's already hurting. And the Ilshis, actually, if they focused on him, probably would kill him off right now. They're focusing the Eco, which not a bad idea to do, to be honest. Again, trying to widen the gap of that lead for Team 1. And Velaron's just going to get more and more veterancy. He's going to get to 2 stars here shortly. Another mech is down. That's another, 24 mass a second gone. Transports are being blown up, not even having a chance to lift off. That's a little unfortunate. T2 land, of course, is online. Going for T3. That's why he's not getting more units online. Another T2 mech is gone. Now it's closing in on the 30 mass territory per second being lost for him. And we have Team 2's Baller at 157. Everybody else on Team 2 lower than that. Team 1 is actually leading, at least individually wise, at 180. And that's because Drimmer's on dual base, to be fair. But he has really expanded out his eco very quickly. T3 land is online. Now moving in to intercept those Ilshis. Now this should be more than enough. Actually, that's 1 brick and 1 loyalist. So loyalist will help EMP the Ilshis and then be able to shoot at them quite easily. Yep. Can't shoot at your opponent if you're EMP'd and kind of stuck there, or emped. Another way of saying it. Velaron's still getting shot at by the remaining forces from Team 1. It's just Mantis, nothing too crazy, to be honest. He is going to get to 3 stars, if not super close. We do have a brick inbound. Transport is damaged. And that last Ilshi is down. Don't know where the brick is going. It will be noticed by Team 2 at some point. And it's still going. There is a set of mexes that will be killed off here. There isn't any sort of air units inbound. And there's the brick landing. Looks like Team 2 did not notice, or at least actively noticed. Transport has a nice little deceiver on board, so it looks like unless Team 2 spotted it with a visual contact, they didn't see it, which is probably why they didn't see it. You see that brick is being ordered to go this way. Looks like that's from Excited, it looks like. Loyalists are inbound. Loyalists cannot EMP T3 units, or at least with their primary and secondary weapons. They can EMP them with their death gun or death EMP weapon. Should pop up momentarily. Nope, just going to focus the mechs, which is probably actually a better use of the brick rather than just going after the straight kill there. Because again, it's just be reclaimed by Team 2 anyway, so the mass a second is probably a better thing to go after. I will note that with this nice little crusade of going after mexes from Team 1 to Team 2, the lead not that far off in favor for Team 1. We're talking about maybe 50 mass-ish a second, maybe. And that's pretty much accounted by just the T2 mexes here, because that's 24. And if you want to count all of these, that was another 24, so 48. And then another one making it, 54. So it pretty much accounts for itself. Some of those mexes are already rebuilt, of course. Another brick over here from Team 1's Drimmer. Again, just harassing Team 2's backline. Looks like it was trying to go after that T3 mex that was damaged, but Nope, not killed off. We have Team 1, 10 and below, regular regen and regular nano. But that is a lot of Ilshis inbound. 10 and below is getting hit pretty hard by that little brick wall there. And then those Ilshis can easily crash into that wall section there. T2 PD's online. They are Cerberus, so not a whole lot of damage for them. But hey, it's better than nothing at this point. We do see Baller. I mean, he's standing. He immediately needs to go backwards. Because that wall of Ilshis, that murder of Ilshis is inbound. A couple of murders at least. And not looking good for Team 2's Baller. Those Ilshis are still pushing. Looks like they might. They are going to go this way now. Oh, maybe they're thinking about it. We have Bricks inbound, Harbinger's inbound, the Cometh Velarone is inbound. Again, Hannibal does have nano and gun and regen ore. That brick is getting absolutely riddled with plasma shots. Again, 8,300 versus 13. One has regen, one does not. We have engineers already on the scene to scoop up reclaim. Baller not looking too hot now. He's dropping into the yellow. He's at 3-star vet. He still has bricks inbound. Overcharge almost goes off another Ilshi. That Ilshi has some vet, which is probably why it survived that overcharge. Also why it most likely survived that overcharge as well. We do see Hannibal pushing in. He almost has Hannibal. Hannibal is falling back. Velarone is pushing in. And it looks like he's driven away Team 1's forces. Baller, honestly, he's in the red. He could have been killed off by the Ilshis, but they were too focused on the bricks. And again, he was probably, specifically Hannibal, was probably focused on getting out of there because Velarone showed up. So Baller, is probably going to go for stealth and then nano. Missiles are inbound from Drimmer's comm. T2 Mex is going to get annihilated with some mass storages to boot. And more bricks in the base from Team 1. And Team 1 is not going to let up with the harassment from the just dropping a brick or two. Transfers are being shot at now to try to just annoy any sort of restarting of those implements of attack. And there's more bricks here now for Team 2. They are going to get thinned out. Velarone is here standing guard. Baller, no upgrades yet, going for land facility, probably for reclaim purposes. Brick is still here. Kills off another couple of mexes for Team 2. And again, still the lead for Team 1 is not that high in comparison with Team 2. And no, that is... it's almost power related for Drimmer. Nope, and nope. So no, that is legitimate actual mass per second for both teams. That lead really isn't that big, to be honest with you. And Team 2 overall has accrued more mass because of the reclaim. Yep, there it is. Pretty much, not the entire total of that discrepancy between total mass, but pretty darn close at about 30 or so mass in their favor. We do see another missile inbound from Drimmer, getting some nice little veterancy from this. 3-star vet, going to work on his 4th T3 land headquarters, or the P-Gen. I'd probably surmise this. Yep. It's going to take 3 hits to kill this thing off because it's 6,000 damage per missile. Another one is inbound, and it's going to be one more. He's got to fire it pretty quick before Team 2 notices. One volcano, and that's it. And hasn't noticed yet. Ooh, that's got to hurt. That missile's inbound. I see it. And we have bricks charging in, and Ilshis are like, well, why would you do that? We have a lot more than you do in terms of numbers. T3 land headquarters for Drimmer. Sorry, not Drimmer, but for Velarone has been killed off by Drimmer. Nice snipe there. That's a lot of time spent into that thing, and now he has to redo it. That is unfortunate. And he's going to kill off the mass. 19,000 mass here. Oh. No, it got shot down finally. But hey, oh, did it get No, it got redirected. It didn't actually get shot down. Oh, that's unfortunate. Drimmer, you gotta move. Drimmer, you gotta move. Oh, he still gets hit. But hey, in terms of percentage, he's only dropped to about 30-ish%. Nothing. Honestly, not bad considering what it could have been. Another missile inbound, and that should be grabbed by a loyalist at some point. Is that within range? It is not. It wasn't within range with the redirect systems on board. Another T2 mix is probably going to be targeted. Looks like somebody drawing on the ground. Something about something. Oh, he just knew it was that one and just immediately says, no, No, T2 land headquarters. Velomon is getting boxed out of technology at this point. That is very unfortunate. How's the air grids going for Team 2? A little bit of an expansion for Team 2 so far. Team 1 a little bit bigger, but it looks like more mass fabs. That's a lot of eco. That's actually mass fab plus land facility, so it's more of a production template more than just a power mass eco template. T3, nope, gonna be ignored. Oh, it was too late. It fired it way too late. That's unfortunate. And looks like that's a Corsair that just got shot out of the sky. Almost crushes that engineer while it's walking on by. Or, sorry, I should say, while it's trundling on by, because it's a wheel. No, it's not treads, though. They're wheels. Rolls on by? Rolls on by. That's the word for it. Now we have Loyalists just circling the map down here in case I'm sending missiles from this direction. And just this spam of the A. Well, you don't need that many. Stop. You don't need that many T1 AA. Just go for maybe like a couple of T3, kind of like this. You don't have to be in a line like that. There's so much AA. The spy plane, I mean, yeah, it's going to get shot down eventually, but dang. You don't need that much. Just go for regular T3 and call it a day. Looks like, was that another missile from Drimmer? Maybe. Team 2 is launching an assault or slowly making their way northward. It's brick v brick with some Seraphim Ilshis and some Optims, but no UEF Perseus. Maybe. Which I think is such an unfortunate situation. No, he does have T3 land headquarters right here. He's going to build some Perseus. There it is. But just not the main line unit because he's kind of focused a little bit more on air. 25 minutes on the clock. We've had one death so far. Being excited. Team 2, it's a 3v2. Team 2 is pretty much caught up in the eco game, and they're still leading the total mass accrued at this point. Team 1, I mean, they sniped a lot of mexes for a decent amount of time, but we'll see if they can turn that into something. Imagine what the lead would be right now for Team 2 if those mexes weren't sniped. Or even if the T3 land headquarters wasn't sniped. He's rebuilding it right here. He might as well just build a backup one somewhere because Team 1 has their number in terms of going after their headquarters and the structures that they were going to build into their headquarters. Bricks actually stop moving for a second and actually fall back. They were worried about an attack from the east, which, to be fair, it is worrisome. A couple of those nice 10,000 hit point charge T3 mobile shielding units. Hannibalo has regular nano, regular regen, and still going online with 2-star vet. Most of the mainline units, both the Ilshis and the other T3 units, have been killed off. Team 2 still has a decent force here. Just they're not engaging. There's a couple sniper bots dotted underneath the shielding. They'll like to see those. Actually, there's more than just a couple. There's more than a few. Almost a half dozen there. That's not going to help things when Team 2 continues to charge. And both comms are sitting there. I'd say it's a perfect time for a nuke. Just blow up both those comms one shot and call it a day for Team 2. Don't know if Team 2 is going to do that at this point, but who knows? Anything can happen within reason in in the FAF. Settings on the brain. I think I saw. I was looking through my videos today for I forget what reason, but I saw the sentence map because of the replay from a week or so ago from Thanksgiving. And it's stuck in the brain, I guess. We do see some bricks. Again, they're getting closer and closer. Those sniper bots are slowly chipping away at the front line bricks, though. That wall section is going to slowly get some cracks, and then Team 1 can just kick it over with a nice, easy breeze. And it looks like the bricks are going to move in. Hannibalo's sitting there. We have Team 1's Drimmer a little bit further back than that. He's at 5-star vet now, 12,000 plus mass killed. Shielding is being targeted to prevent any sort of annoyances with that. We do see the stealth field is not going to be useful when you can have eyes on it. 92 hit points a second regen. And Harbingers are moving in. The bricks are now moving in as well. And you're probably going to think it, or probably say it at this point, where are the Perseus from Team 1? And I'm going to say the same thing. Where are the Perseus from Team 1? They'd be eating this brick wall alive. That regen, again, doesn't look like it's doing a whole lot, but when you're not focusing the unit entirely and really killing it off, you're leaving it almost dead, it can come back to bite you. Missiles inbound? Missiles over here to the east from Team 2. Looks like they were targeting land facilities or just the mechs entirely, but something was killed off. Team 2, again, they're kind of doing this. They're not really sticking with the assault. And again, I understand that. They're like, well, if we don't win, we don't want to lose all those units and that mass and give it over to Team 1. That's completely understandable. The other hand, though, wow, that's a spread of missiles is what that is. Look at that. Multiple mechs is taken offline simultaneously. Look at that. Nice grab there. Look at the E-storage there. Oh, it looks like they were targeting P-gens as well. There's a couple of TMD there. Not a whole lot. But because they're not committing to the assault, and yeah, they probably would lose most of the forces in that engagement, to be honest. This is for Team 2. It allows Team 1 to get the reclaim from the attack, rebuild defenses, more time, more units, that sort of thing. And it's not essentially destroying the threat outright. It looks like counter-missiled, and all those missiles are gone from Team 2. So lovely snipe for some mexes for Team 2, trying to copy what Drimmer did, but not mobile-wise, and looks like they just got annihilated by some counter-missiles, probably just from the comm. Oh, yeah, that was from the comm straight up, just because he's at 16,000 mass killed. One random air scout in the background. Belleron hanging out. Lots of Team 1 PD to protect himself. Looks like that one's barely started. T3 mech is being upgraded as we speak. Team 2 expediting their eco growth. We're at 1,000 mass for Team 2. Team 1's at 800. And Baller skips the Monkey Lord phase for the cyber and experimental technology situation and goes for the bigger and badder and longer ranged and taller and more annoying to deal with Megalith for Team 2 for the cyber side of things. SMD is built. Lovely to see that. SACUs, I think is what he meant to say, but he said Skaz. Fat Boy is almost online. That will probably get to the front line a little bit after that Megalith gets there. We do see the Rambo preset, the shield, 42,000 hit points. Annoying. They're not as annoying as the Cybran ones that have 400 hit points a second regen, which is just absolutely insane. There's an absolute monstrosity amount of regen for that thing. And look at that. Just look at all those hit points just get annihilated. Look at that. Just, thousands upon thousands. But this is more of a just bullet sponge tank. Not really meant for the damage it has. I think a little bit of AoE, but not enough to be that much of a concern. The Megalith is really what's going to rip those hit points apart. 3,000 per twin burst. And it needs to actually get up there to assist. The brick wall's like, we want to keep pushing, and the crab's like, I can only walk so fast. Don't walk too fast. SACU now in the yellow. It's just being focused down by Team 2, and it's giving lots of opportunity for the remaining units, specifically the Ilshis and the other T3 units, to rip apart the bricks. And without the Megalith there, to really help just punch through that whole plating, it's not looking good for Team 2's assault again. It's one of those kind of attacks. Fat Boy is inbound. That's going to stop the Fat Boy. Stop the Megalith immediately. I promise I can English. But some days I just can't English very well. Harbinger on the western side. Nice use of the Harbinger there because, again, it's the fastest T3 mainline unit in the game. Really useful to just kind of, I'm just going to blitz on through. We have some coursers that immediately say nah to that Megalith, that Harbinger. Now the Megalith is still pushing. Yeah, it's still in the green. That's not terrible. We have, again, still more. That's a lot. Wow. That's a lot of sniper bots. That is a assassin school of snipers, or whatever I want to use for that group of sniper bots. And I think I might just say the same word for both. Because, again, there's really no distinction between the Usha-A and the Aeon snipers. It's just snipers. And a couple of SACUs are going to help kill off that Megalith, which the Corsair is going to do that anyways. There goes the Megalith. That is definitely unfortunate for Team 2. That's a lot of mass on the table. 20,000 mass for that Megalith wreck. There is another one inbound, to be fair, but Team 1's going to secure that pretty quickly because they know it, and of course they're just going to scoop it up with the SACUs anyways. Hannibal, give me my life back, says excited. Probably talking about how he wants to be doing more. Thinks that Hannibal's not doing as much as he maybe thinks he should be. I don't know. Some comment about something. But anyway, Yathotha coming online for Hannibalo. And then Team 2's GC is now done as well. No monkey out from the air player. Maybe you'll see that once in a while, but in a 3-player game, probably focused more on, of course, the air superiority side of things, which we really haven't seen an air fight in terms of Team 1's Drimmer. We're sitting at 135. Control K, we're sitting at 152. So not really a big difference. It's UEF versus Cybrin, if that has anything to do with anything. And there it is. Yep. UEF does UEF things. The only UEF in the game, building the satellite attack nuke, or the Billy nuke, of course, being built by Drimmer. And then we have Hannibal going for something. It'd be funny if he's going for YOLO, but he's not. Megalith is heavily damaged already. Corsairs are really ripping that thing to shreds. Yeah, need some flak on that thing immediately. That's the second experimental dead. Pretty close to where the first one died. And not looking great. We do see some ASFs thinning out the Corsairs. Again, they spread out really in all different directions. Oh, nipping at the heels of the ASFs for Team 2. GC is like, no, we're not getting anywhere near that nonsense. The Corsairs are swarming that thing. Oh, it is unfortunate. That GC is pretty much newly in box. It's not anymore. It was. Not anymore. And dropping it to 40,000. It's trying to dodge. It's doing a decent job of dodging, but unfortunately, it's pretty much going to fall maybe into the... Oh, it doesn't fall into the red, but... No, does the air fight happen? Oh, Team 2 loses a couple of ASFs, but they really don't want the fight at this point. We have AA being built now to deal with at least some of the Corsairs. And we have more AA being built all the time. Engineers are being targeted to try to prevent construction of more of them. But there's a lot of Corsairs. Drimmer is pumping those things out fairly quickly. Also, I will note, not UEF. Cybrin Air. I was mistaken. I forgot that Excited was the Cybrin there. So, forgot about that. Chicken just going straight for the goal of the suits there, I guess. And goes, oh yeah, there's a crab there. Oh yeah, I should probably not do that. And decides kind of against that, but maybe a little bit too late. Megawit's like, okay, fine, I'll go for it. And Chicken's like, okay, fine, I'll also go for it. T3 mexes are being targeted by the satellite. And there goes the Chicken. So Team 1 donates over 1 experimental, cheaper than the Megalith. Team 2 has donated over 2. So far, the Reclaim does still favor Team 2. And Total Master Crude still favors Team 2. Now it's at 200,000 more mass for Team 2. What are you spending that on? I don't know, but a couple of your mass bars are... one's half full, one's pretty close, one's kind of halfway there almost. Team 1, how's your extra mass? Not looking good for Drimmer on the power situation, but everything else is fine. Sorry, Teleporter says Control K, so we might see a laser outbound from him shortly. And another Mega. Looks like it's just going to be Megalith affair, which, I mean, might work, but the only problem I have with that is if you're not making a lot of progress on the land situation, I don't know if it's worth it just dumping a whole bunch of stuff into the land situation. Maybe if, dealing with the FAF boys probably a little bit more important, build some T2 Clink Hammers, or in this case I should say Gunthers. We see that the Miasmas are being built for Veloron. The only problem with doing it this way is that the FAF boy can actually kind of slowly cut them out one by one going this way, because he's attacking this way while they're facing the other way. It'd be better if they're lined up this way so that they kind of all fire at the same time. And that's if the FAF boy's going slow. If the FAF boy's going fast, it's not going to matter in terms of like going into range of the artillery. And 1 FAF boy versus 2 megas. Lots of shielding here to protect the Reclaim that Team 1 trying to scoop up, and of course the Engineers scooping up said Reclaim. Not looking great. The SACUs are really going to be the annoyance here. That they are getting ripped apart decently quick. A little bit of AoE explosion does help things for Team 2. They kind of kill one off, and it's kind of just a cascade effect. And there's, again, those 2 megas. Drimmer's also here. He has Billy Nuke online. Hasn't fired it yet, but hasn't also loaded it yet. Don't know if that's his first one or not. I highly doubt it. Megalith is about to die, I will note. And Team 1 still I think it's fine, to be honest. Yeah, the Team 2 has killed off some SACUs, but they're not the RAS ones. They're just the Rambo. They are designed to die, and then Team 1 gets the reclaim from it. But we do see some SACUs for Team 2. Those 400 hit point a second. Nonsense. They're still surviving, to be fair, for a little bit longer, but not entirely surviving. And there goes the last Mega. That attack did not go as well as they maybe hoped. There are 2 GCs. That one is heavily damaged. That was the one that was initially hit. And here comes the Billy Nuke to go, boom. Kills off some hit points. I think it's 12,000 or 11, it's like 11,000. It's at least 5 digits, but I think it's 11 something. Splash started here for Hannibal to the north. He traded out his regen ore. He also has advanced nano, so now he's sitting at plus 200 hit points a second regen and 40,000 total. Absolute monstrosity amount. Laser is almost done for Control K. He has teleporter. He could try to go after one of these players. Definitely not Drimmer, just because he's near the front line. See, the only issue with going after Hannibal, we know this, because he's going for Splash. They don't know that, because they have no idea what he's going for, even if they know where the comm is, which they do. But he might be the target. We will see as he started initialization, teleported protocols, and nope. He could actually maybe teleport over, maybe not there. He could probably teleport back there, maybe? I don't know. There's no pawns to hide in to make it easier. Trying to keep a track of Control K just in case he does go kablooey. SACU is still running around getting all that reclaim. Another Megalit's coming into range. 2 GC still back here. We have another shielding and more P-gens and more artillery being built. Just spam out that. At this point, if Team 2's western side is already prepping for defense, you might as well just hold back. They're producing more mass than Team 1. So as long as Team 1 hasn't gone for any longer range options, then it's not too bad. Well, there's the artillery. Never mind. I can just throw what I said right out the window because Team 2 either needs to go for their own long-range artillery or they just need to blow it up with something else. With maybe land units. Good luck with that. Satellite still targeting mexes. That's still mass being lost. Team 2 still in the lead, though. Teleporter. Oh, teleporter's going. Is he going for it? He's going for the air grid. He's going for the artillery. Apologies. There. I don't think. Oh, no. Oh, yeah. Excited has noticed. That might be something that saves this artillery piece. He's kind of next to some P-gen, so he has to be worried about that. Immediately fires on the P-gen. Not within range of that one. Not within range of that one. Doesn't kill off the T3 artillery. There it is. Kills that off within range of a couple of P-gens here for the air grid. Kills off a section of that air grid. Nothing too bad. Another P-gen's going to get blown up before he leaves. E-storages as well. Could actually kill off this guy, but doesn't go for it. Another P-gen, another P-gen. Teleports a little bit more northward. Kills off, looks like this mass FAF farm here. Shielding, still kind of holding. We have gunships inbound. And there, oh, that one gets reclaimed. Nice grab there. And then, nope. Doesn't reclaim all that. And he's still taking some damage. He is at 5-star vet, so he's doing very well for himself. And then he goes there, right on top of Hannibal. And the splash is actually going to win him out. Look at that win from Team 1's Hannibal. Maybe if Control K had full HP, maybe it would have worked. Maybe, but he was really chonking away at those hit points. And it was just that one upgrade. Even if it was just the nano, Hannibal would have died, and Control K would have won. So that one splash upgrade saved his bacon. Some nice grab there from Team 1. Makes it now an even 2v2 at 43 minutes. Crazy to think that we had a kill at about, I think it was like the 10-minute mark. And now 30-plus minutes later, we've now had another kill. The number 2 kill in the game. Teleporter started for Hannibal. You can tell here, you noob. Looks like SMD is going to be the focus of that. Looks like laser is cut through a little bit of that air grid. And now I think it's just on kind of holding up and building long range stuff. Team 2 is going for an artillery soon there. We have an SMD there. Love to see it. SMD not covered by power, but it looks like he's going for laser. That's why he might try to go for a laser approach. Gun splash says Control K. And he's regenning now. He actually got rid of his nano, so actually this would be the perfect opportunity to go for him because he doesn't have that chonky amount of hit points. Teleported now at 50% in climb. Wow, he has a lot of power to play with. He should be fine. No, it's going to be close. He finishes it before the upgrade completes. Did he have to rebuild the satellite? I don't remember him going after the satellite. He could have, but I don't remember Control K going after the satellite. It is gone, though, on Team 2's side of the map, so why would you bring it back home kind of thing? It's coming back to Team 2's side of the map, and Team 2 has had some time to at least shield some of the mexes. Not all of them, but most of them. Even the ones up here got a couple of shields. 45 minutes in climbing. Team 1 and Team 2 kind of just playing more standoffish. It doesn't help that Team 2 has just a bucket of... Actually, no. Sorry. Has a bucket of artillery here. And some of them can barely hit what's up there to the north where those engineers are. Another Nuke lands. Goes off a mechs, but nothing too great. The comm go. Comm's up here to the northeast. Oh, baller. Team 1 has already prepped some defenses in terms of the gunship department. That's a lot of jesters. Oh, he's going to die. The jesters. Oh, and he kills all of them off in his explosion of death. ASFs come in, but a little too late to save the day. Airfight will ensue. These will be transferred over to Team 2's Velarone. Not going to be good. And they get slaughtered for a couple of seconds, and they reactivate orders. Team 2 will win the air fight. Could have been a little bit better, to be honest. And there goes that. Again, Mexes have been eliminated, but all those ASFs, I mean, pretty much they're all dead anyways. And that's unfortunate for Team 2. Not only do they lose the comp, but they also lose pretty much all the ASFs. All that reclaims on Team 1's side of the map. I mean, Eco is still favoring Team 2, but we have a... Is that the same satellite? Does it just keep doing this? I think it just keeps doing that. It just keeps going back and forth. No idea why it keeps doing that. It just does. Because Drimmer has decided that it's going to do that. Artillery is re-online for Team 1's Drimmer. We also see... Oh, yeah. Artillery is started for Hannibal over there to the north. We have artillery done for Team 2. It's just newly minted, that one is. Looks like Team 1's going to focus that, which makes sense. A couple of pigeons still left there, not finished. Definitely not enough shielding, especially with it heavily taking some damage from the satellite and the artillery, please. Peace. Not please. This isn't Papers, Please or anything. Second artillery has been started as well. Ooh, shields are already down. If the satellite focuses the shielding, that's going to be a wipe from that artillery immediately. Oh, there's one shield generator gone. There's another. Oh, and that's gone. And that. Oh, there's one more left. There you go. Ha-ha. I grabbed all four of them pretty much. And there goes the power. A little bit of easier time of it once you target all the power. Cascades, blows everything up. Have a nice day. Nuke online for Team 2. Oh, the power does die. Power does die, which means the artillery dies because, of course, some of it was underneath the shielding. So that's unfortunate. Team 2 loses their artillery piece. Their first one and maybe only one if the game ends soon enough for Team 1. Oh, I haven't even talked about who do you think is going to win this game at this point. Should have mentioned that before the telemaser nonsense is. Well, let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't, because why not? Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, all of that goodness. I really do appreciate all of the support. It means a lot. So thank you so much. Hopefully everybody's enjoying the colder months of the year, if that's where your season is. Sometimes in other places in the world that doesn't occur at the same time as the northern side of things. But, you know, if you're in the northern side of things, hopefully you're enjoying the snow and the cold. And if you're not, well, hopefully you're enjoying the not cold and the not snow, which I guess is just another word for rain. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Let's watch some fat boys start to chip away at the defenses for Team 2. What is this? Is excited. That is a scat. This is what that is. A little ambitious and a little less unshielded. It's mostly. Not all of it, but some of it. There it is. Well, Team 1 immediately knows what it is, and they will deal with that sooner rather than later. SMD is unshielded. Really easy win in that regard. Artillery shot is inbound. Hits a P-gen. Takes out another shield generator. Takes out another shield generator. Oh, yeah, that SMD is DED. Nuke has been spotted by Hannibal. It's half loaded. Honestly, I mean, that SMD is loaded. That SMD is loaded. Teleporter started for Hannibal because why not? Didn't he already start that upgrade? Maybe he canceled it and moved or something. But there goes the SMD. That air grid is pretty much gone. There goes that section of mass fabs and power. More shielding's going to be built, but the air grid is gone. The headquarters is gone. So it's not really going to matter in that department. Team 1 really hasn't built up that many ASFs anyways. And now with the headquarters gone, Team 2 won't do that either. So honestly, at this point, it's just going to come down to maybe land or maybe just straight up artillery. Team 1 has 2. Soon to be 3. Team 2 has not 1, almost 1, and 1 nuke. And Scathis started. I don't know. The shielding is holding. Needs more engineers or SSUs on this. And just needs more shielding in general, to be honest. If that satellite comes over here, that will definitely ruin everybody's day over there. And Velarone does have the regular shield online, no heavy shield. So it will be somewhat protected. There goes that shield. Speaking of which, the nuke is almost loaded. Land facility goes down. And Nuke gets impacted by that artillery shell. That is gone. And an SACU dies as well on top of that. And another one dies on top of that. That is super unfortunate. Now it's just the nuke at this point. He does have some strats. Now, I don't know if that's realistically going to be enough, because if he goes northward, it's going to get hit by AA up here. If he goes west and then northward, this ASF's kind of gathering. You might get a couple of shots in. I don't know. Oh, they're going to go for it. They're getting hit by a couple of... Oh, why would you stop? Why would you stop? Oh, they have to go up and over the mountain. Yep. That's unfortunate. Oh, and the ASFs completely missed because they have to go up and over, or the strats go up and over. They tried to go after the comm, which, again, lovely endeavor, to be honest, but shield doesn't even break. And Drimmer would have had his shield and his hull plating. He would have had to been hit by... So 4 of them is 12,000. So probably a good 40 of them. Wait, no, that doesn't make sense. 16, so probably saying even 20 to be safe on the strap bomber side of things. To be really killed out between the shielding and his personal shield and his hit points, probably about 20 or so at a minimum. And artillery is raining in, slowly chipping away at Baller's old base. The Scathis is in the yellow. It's getting there, but I don't know. We have 3 fat boys and 4 chickens, and Team 1's like, well, we're not going to worry about it. We have a nice little emissary shot inbound. Shields for Team 1 kind of falling in and offline. P-gen goes down. There goes that artillery being built. Now it's just 1 primary shield to protect everything. Lots of engineers tasked with keeping that thing alive. And Team 2 is just going to send them in. I don't know. We have, of course, all of Drimmer's forces moving westward to intercept. Then we have the 3 megawatts behind them. That Fat Boy is going to get killed off before it gets anywhere near anything. Chickens are still sitting there for now. They probably should move at some point, even if it's just to run right in between these 2 groups and just get shot at and die. At least the Ion Storms would at least delay these 3. And these 2 can be dealt with by the Fat Boys. Nah, Drimmer's like, I'm not getting anywhere near that mess. They are just full sending it. No, thank you. And shots are inbound. There's tons of SACUs here. There's, of course, the 3 Fat Boys here. The Fat Boys retask onto the... Oh, that's probably not the best idea. Because those GCs are starting to go out of range. SACU... it's going to get stomped on a little bit. That's not going to help things. But it does not die. Percy's are catching up to that GC at least a little bit. Second crab is gone. Third crab is gone. And that might just have opened the floodgates for Team 1 to just intercept. We're going after the satellite. And that GC, that first one is dead. The comm got out of range, so that's very smart there. And And how's the artillery doing? Artillery is gone, so that's not helpful. The comm is being targeted as we speak. Scathis is not done yet. GC is going to try to get that satellite. Oh, it got it before its death. So there's that. And nope, there it goes. So 3 megas, 3 GCs, 1 Novak's dead. Not worth the trade by any means. So that's unfortunate for Team 2. And there he's just control K. He's like, nope, I'm done. I'm not going to win that fight. How's the... again, the Scathis was in the green, but we're talking about an assault of 4 chickens, 5 chickens maybe, all the SACUs, all the snipers. Of course, the air win was in favor for Team 1. There we do see some ASF still, but not a whole lot. And there's another artillery piece. So we had, 3 done? And then, of course, all of the land. Yeah, that just... Even if the Scathis was done right now, it wouldn't have been enough. It realistically wouldn't have been. Because you either have the threat from the long-range stuff, or you have the threat on the land, and you cannot deal with both at the same time. And most likely the land forces would have won out, regardless of what maybe the Scathis targeted, to be honest. Because that Scathis... Yeah, once those chickens got to essentially that T2 mechs there, they wouldn't have been hit. So you have a Megawith there. Sorry, yeah, 1 Megawith there, and that's it. So no, yeah, you wouldn't have had enough to deal with that. So it was a win for Team 1. Very much a back and forth, but I do think what kind of hurt Team 2 was, again, the mech sniping from Team 1 on both the eastern and the western sides, but also Team 2 charging in, not winning the fight, and then falling back, doing the same thing again, and then doing the same thing. It just kind of this back and forth of will they, won't they kind of commit, and that kind of non-committal, I think, definitely hurt Team 2. Also, doesn't help that a comm had splash and killed off the telemaser, the first one. The second one just got killed off because of the defenses that were built from the first one. So maybe shouldn't have teleported in on that second one, but hey, we learn. We all make mistakes, that sort of thing. So hopefully everybody has enjoyed it today, this video and whatnot. Leave a like down in the description, I guess, or just on the video, whatever. Leave a like, comment down below, all that sort of things. Really do appreciate all the time and attention you give to my videos and all of my kind of just rabbit squirrel brain. I will see all of you in the next one.